Hey, good evening, folks. Welcome in. Right now, it is evening time here in St. Louis. Go figure, you would think the internet would be super busy and I'd be all locked up right now, but it's running great. So we're going to give this hour and a half flight a try. Can't guarantee we're not going to run into problems, but you know what, folks? Might as well give it a try. I wish we could have done the 2.5, 3 hour run over to Vegas today, but the internet, I mean, well, if you've seen and have been in our Discord, you'll see the what we would have flown through uh, at that time. So, but anyway, hey, I want to welcome you into Flying with Mike, and I really hope you all have a interesting flight. Now, I teased you all there with that surprise saying if you don't know what a Gimpo is, well, join us. Folks, we are at Gimpo International Airport. Those of you that have watched Korean movies and TV shows like MASH, Gimpo was the staging area for the war, which is weird because really the demilitarized zone is just like over that tree line. So you're right there. But anyway, this is where a lot of the troops flew into and out of the Korean War. Uh, and it's the other airport in Korea. We all love to fly into Incheon. It's an island out there in the sea of a Korean Sea, whatever they call it. But here you're on the mainland, and this was the original Seoul, Korea airport. So, without further ado, let's get up in here and let's see if we can't get skedaddling here real quick. All right, so we're up here in the cockpit, and woo, our frame rate's starting to take a hit. This could be fun in the fact I am on VATSIM, and we're going to give even that a try. Boy, these numbers are going to make it fun. I'm going to tell you that much right now. If we drop, we're going to stay dropped. Just in case there was actually a controller about a half hour to an hour ago up here. I guess he decided to go to work because it's about 10 o'clock in the morning here. So, local time, Korea. So, anyway, we're going to load this plane here. So, but before we can do that, let's get Sim Toolkit in the midst. Find out what dispatch has planned for us and go from there. Get an idea what the routing looks like. Basically, go up right up to the tip of the demilitarized zone. Drop southeast, cut across the Sea of Japan over towards Narita. And the flight schedule we're flying here with Piedmont Virtual Historical Group, 1984. So Narita was just opened then, folks. I mean, I actually thought it was a couple years, like 1990, but no, it was in the early 80s when that opened up. Boy, did it have a lot of turmoil from farmers and all being their land being taken. Hence, when they built Kansai down in Osaka, they built it out in the ocean. And of course, that upset the fishermen. You can't ever win for trying, folks. All right, so let's get in here, shall we? Right, here in Osaka, we're looking at a 060 wind. You can see how it's reflected on the runway here. Calm, so really it's not an issue. We're clear and very visibility okay, and it's a balmy 20 here. Over across the sea, we have Narita, also variable at 2. Few clouds though at 2,500 now. Something's broken here, but that got broken in the translation over to the message, I guess. But it chilled a little to a balmy 18. We'll see what all that transpires into as we go. Loadout, 263 people planned today, folks. They're all signing their NDAs right now, so they don't hold me accountable for any bad things that might happen. But they're going to praise me for all the good. So, all right, so 60,500 pounds of payload. You see the ZFW, which stands for zero fuel weight. Our blockout fuel is going to be around 70,000 pounds, with our alternate being, and it's usual, the folks, Kansai or Tokyo, you get RJGG. It just almost, just, you folks, it rarely changes. So, and that's our alternate. 39,000 feet dispatch is giving us today at a cost of Mach 0.85. All right, let's put all of this into the flight simulator and let's get that rolling. Okay, couple quick things about this plane. First off, let me see, did I save that message in my emails? Because I loved it this morning when I saw it. Hang on, I'm just checking. Oh, dang it, no, I didn't. We had a YouTube fan text on the Kansai flight we did a few days ago. Not Kansai, my bad, I'm all hung up on it. Kaitak. And he says, how in the, basically, I'm paraphrasing because I don't have it right up in front of me. How the heck do you fly that plane with one person in the seat and land at Kaitak, of all places? Welcome to a plane, and that's why, folks, on the Discord channel, I put dreaded 747. To me, folks, this is not a dreaded plane at all. I love flying this plane. Where it becomes a little sometimes overtaxing is takeoff and initial climb, and your approach and landing, no matter where you're going. Reason being, remember, this is a crew of 3, folks, in the real world when it flew. We're doing it as a crew of 1. Now, do I wish I had the first officer and the flight engineer? Heck yeah. But I'm glad that Felis didn't automate that and made me do it all. I actually like that. Now, what would be truly fun to see in real life, folks? One person fly this plane. Don't think you'll get it. It would be fun to watch in the cockpit, though. All right, again, realize we had 263 folks. Let's get back to the business at hand. All right, so we got 263. Let's just start parsing this down. I have no idea if what I'm doing right now is even getting us. We're going to keep a few more in the cattle car sections. Drop it off up here. Okay, we are going to have to drop them in there. Okay. Trying to keep it somewhat balanced, folks, because we don't have really a heavy load. What we have is pretty much a normal, I mean, it's not a bad load for the plane. All right, zero fuel weight again was 451. Cargo time. All right, let's see how this does with the basics in. Okay, so we can put another 4-ish thousand in here. So what I'll do is bump you up 25. Okay. The thing we need, and then I'll finish it off back here in the back. We need 290. Where'd we end up? 240. That's close enough there for the government. All right, today's trip is 800 miles. So let's put that there. Going to 39,000. Winds for us today are going to average. I saw them earlier. Where'd they go? All right, I like I said, I saw them earlier. 282, so that's a tailwind. And let me get our alternates distance. 279. Let's put that in first. Okay, so where do we stand on fuel? 85,000 pounds. Well, we're going even more. All right, we're going to go one more tick here. I think we'll go with it. We're going to be a little heavier than what's planned. We're going to run with 83,140 pounds of go-go juice. And you see how all of that broke down. All right, now, all this page is, folks, is exactly the words you see, calculating. It's just calculating. Now, I've never done this, nor do I plan to today. But here's what the text load sheet looks like, and this is what's going to be used in the next 2 pages here to physically load the plane. All right, so let's return. Click up here. First, we'll do the fuel. Click Use Load Sheet. You got to see what it's going to do. I did this once, folks, and it really didn't work the way I wanted, so I just instant fuel the plane. Likewise, now this one, I actually kind of like boarding it and loading it, but I really want to get the plane moving here, so I'm trying to think. Let's go ahead. I'm going to start boarding. Well, it would board if you had the people in there. 263. There we go. And the cargo is going to be on here in a nanosecond or 2 or 3. Okay, maybe 4 or 5. But then you can see the passengers just slowly go. I wish they would do the same kind of with the cargo to give it a more realistic feel to it, because right now the cargo doors are closing. So, but it is what it is. All right, so while that's going on, we have a couple items to tend to over here. We are on the man that does everything on the plane, it seems like, except fly it. It's the flight engineer, folks. And boy, he's the guy that makes the flight comfortable. He makes the flight, he doesn't make it enjoyable. That's actually on your part. But he's the guy that keeps everything in line. And sometimes even the 2 characters up in the front gives them a give smack here or there. So, but anyway, let's get the APU on so we can start, well, whatever it needs. Just waiting on the door to close. 2, 3. There she goes, spooling up. RPMs are building. And then what I'm going to do once everything's spooled up and ready to go, we're going to check our generators. If you don't do a trick, folks, when you load up the aircraft and you don't check this box in the upper right-hand corner that says show or uncheck it. I forget how it is. You're going to see everything. And that includes the X-Plane 11 and X-Plane 12 version of this. Don't start the 11. You will not know you have until you try to put the generators on, the engines, or try to taxi. Everything else will seem to work, and you'll miss one key call we'll point out. All right, so let's check these generators. I have to close these first. These are the ones that actually put it on the bus. But what the first off or flight engineer would do, my bad, I always get the two screwed up. He'll check, are the generators putting out the appropriate frequency and volts before connecting it? And they are. So we just reach up here and go click, click. We're on the gens now for the APU. We can actually now, and as you see, it disconnected us from external power. He'll also do the same, because if you don't have the right frequencies and the right voltages, folks, you can hurt the plane. Believe it or not, a plane this big can be hurt. Okay, so with that taken care of, now the bleed air can come on. And then here comes the magic, folks. It's time to, like I said, cool it down. We already have the galley power set up so the flight attendants can get things going for the passengers. But we don't have air circulating yet. So with pack 1 on, let's go to half. Here come the needles showing us how it's doing. Go to full. Pack 2. And we'll go ahead and turn on pack 3. Gasper and all recircs are on right now. We are now basically ready to board. We are boarding, actually, as you saw. Okay, again, we've got our pressurization set 40,000 feet. That's to take into account any porpoising we might do or differences in pressure from our 2992 above transition level set. And I'll point out some things that Jost D777 pointed out to me last trip that I never knew. Folks, that is the greatest kind of flying out. Oh, wait a minute. I'm doing this wrong. Hang on. Can I switch that? No. Hey, stand by. What is that number? We're at 1018 here, 30-06. Okay, so let me get zoomed back in here. Uh-oh. There we go. 36. Another way you can do this, folks, set it to your altitude at your airfield. Works just as good. It'll just be above the ground now instead of barometrically. And barometrically sometimes is off, so. All right, so I think we've got everything. Okay, we're aligned, so let's go to nav and nav and nav. And before the question comes out, no, I do not run with the INSs. We can get into that in flight. Okay, I think, barring, hey, we're a little over, well, we're well over halfway full on our peeps, so we're doing really good here. So you know what? Let's go ahead and start a checklist.
Before start,
see what I
please.
forgot.
Gear lever and lights. Down and check. Brakes. Parked. Start levers. Off. Radios. On and check. Flight control hydraulic power. On. INS. Check and nav. Compasses. Slaved. Window heat. Damn.
Oh, I didn't turn the middle ones on.
On. Seatbelts and no smoking. On. Emergency lights. Armed. Exterior lights. Damn.
Okay. This is, we're ready to push back. We're doing it early. We don't have the beacon on, which is what it's looking for. So I'm just going to say check.
Altimeters and clocks. 1018. Set and cross-check. Radio INS switches. Radio. Radar and transponder. Standby. Indicator lights. Check. Engine and wing anti-ice. Off. Stall warning. Check. Mach airspeed warning. Check. Auto brakes. Check and off. Body gear steering. Arm. Anti-skid. On. Autopilot and flight director. Check and off. Takeoff warning. Check. Auto flight annunciators. Check. GPWS. Check. Instrument warning. Check. Flight director computer selectors. Check. Instrument source selectors. Normal. Reserve brake valve. Closed. Spoilers. Down. Static selectors. Normal. Oxygen mask and regulator. Check and emergency off. Brake pressure. Check. Stabilizer trim. Check and on. Rudder and aileron trim. Check. Checklist completed.
Oop, I meant to go here. All right, folks, we are loaded now. So we can actually close up the front door. You can already see the cargo door is closed. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the jetway. And we're going to run the next checklist.
Battery. On. APU panel. Check. Auxiliary power. Check. Engine oil quantity. Check. Fuel quantity. 83018 pounds. Fuel panel. Let's see.
Okay. Same thing. We're going to go ahead, though, and get these pumps on.
Check and set.
Because we're ready to go.
Pressurization controls. Check and set. Bleed controls. This. Check and set. Hydraulic quantity. Check. EPR computer. Wait.
Okay. We're talking about this device here. You can also access it in the simulator here. Basically, they want us on GA. I'm going to keep us, and that's not top of descent, folks. That's takeoff dry. They inject water for takeoff, for more thrust. I keep it dry, just as simple. You could set your decreases and all of that, but we just leave it as that. And what we'll do, check.
Circuit breakers. Check. Indicator lights. Check. Electrical panel. Check and set. Air conditioning controls.
This. Okay, again, I am just going to go ahead and say check. We'll have to turn them off for engine start.
Fire control and wing overheat panels. Check and set. Equipment cooling. Check. Passenger oxygen. Check. Hydraulic panel. Check and set. Fuel jettison panel. Check. Crew oxygen. On. Oxygen mask and regulator. Check and emergency off. ADPs off. Checklist completed.
Okay, next checklist is for the start. All right, so what I want to get real quick, oh, I didn't want to do that, map. We'll go with that one. All right, we're ready to go, folks. Online, and I don't see anyone, so let's give it our best. Why don't we? Try this one more time. Don't know why that's not working, but oh well. Okay, before I push back, I do have one thing I want to set up, and that's our performance for takeoff. Again, load sheet. And then what I'm going to do, well, we're not going to be able to see it. I can already tell by the way, well, we might. Okay, so let's try charts. Oh yeah. All right, so here's our airport, folks. This is Gimpo International. Okay, we're going to be taking off on 14 left, so you can already tell we're going to push, face south, come down here to Papa, all the way out to the end, Gulf 2, and we'll be departing 11,811 feet. First item we got to do, 11,800 feet on a heading of 144. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Correction. Elevation of 59 feet. And now we'll put in 144. All right, we're not going to worry slopes. It's dry. Now the tricky thing here is what I use is Sky Vector real quick to get temps and all. Temp right now is 22. Barometric pressure. Real quick over here. I think it's 3008 or 6, one of the two. Okay. And currently the wind is 090 at 4. Okay. Now, you see what you can do here. I'm just going to put the information in myself. Now, Sim Toolkit would have the slope. There is one. I'm not going to worry about it. B1 for flaps 10, that's what we're going to do is 120, 127, 146. 2,300 feet. That's just that's way wrong. But, you know, it's what we got to work with. All right, so we'll just set our speed bugs. Now our flaps up. Here's your speeds. We're clean at 219. We'll set the stabilizer trim to 3.1 once fired up. Initial pitch out of here is 18 degrees. 1,000 feet. We'll nose over to accelerate to 250, or actually 240 until we cross 10,000 feet. Then we go up to 297. Okay. All right, so real quick, we'll plug some numbers in here. I think we're like heading. And let me, while we're looking at it, put in our departure brief real quick. Okay, we're on the EGOBA A2U. Okay, which actually is that way. Here's our frequencies for departure if they're here, airport elevation, and what's required. Technically, this aircraft would probably not have been able to do this departure back then unless you have all of these frequencies. So for our departure, folks, you can kind of see it already. We're going to come off on a heading 144. So that's what we're going to dial in. Okay. And we're going to head to UD 050. And that's about a 4-mile run intercepting the 159. And folks, this is really in too close to be of any effectiveness, but it's the 115. We'll go with that one here. That's 5. An inbound course of 159. Okay. Flight director's on. And then we'll go outbound 87 degrees to EGOB. EGOBA, whatever you want to call it. Again, 050 to Cell, VOR to EGOBA, below 9,000 feet. That's probably very doable. Okay. All right. We'll see how well we do this. We did pretty good on a couple of flights we did last week with it. See if our string holds together. All right, we are ready to call better pushback.
Ground to cockpit, please show me where you want to go.
Just going to do it pretty simple here, folks. Sometimes I get kind of fancy with it, this one. Now, one of the streamers I watch says you need to pull it forward or go backwards after the turn to get the body gear steering straight.
Ground
Sounds
to cockpit,
good.
tow is driving up.
All right. After start. Okay. Let us...
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. On behalf of the entire crew, welcome aboard the Boeing 747 Classic. We will depart shortly after we have our clearance and the cabin crew is finished with their preparations. For now, I wish you a pleasant flight, and I will be back during the flight with further flight information.
Okay. Let me double check the GPU is disconnected.
Cockpit to ground. Disconnect ground power.
Okay, all doors and
Ground power
hatches are
disconnected.
closed, ready to connect.
Cockpit to ground. Remove the chocks.
Okay, and while we'll wait for the call and then we'll look.
Chocks removed.
My bad. Okay, looks like chocks are removed. And is the ground power. All right.
Cabin crew, arm slides.
So connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake.
All doors are closed and armed.
Okay, we're set here.
Parking brake released.
If I haven't said
Starting
this
pushback.
already,
Engine may start
folks,
engine.
I highly recommend this plane. It's a bear to learn. It's a bear sometimes to keep up with because you're a crew of one. But, folks, it's also... Ooh, I need to do something once we get parked. Doggone and then we'll fire it up. You know, I think I just noticed that's floating scenery. So we found another place, folks, besides Memphis. Yeah, I forgot to start the Acres program for a Piedmont Virtual. So we'll get the brakes set. The engines are not cranking yet. We'll probably get gigged a couple points for a short start.
Operation complete. Set parking brake.
Parking brake set.
Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
All right, let me get that program running. For a second there, I didn't think I was aimed the right way. Ah.
Tow is disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal will be on the left. We'll see you next time. Have a safe flight.
Thanks for flying with Mike. All right, folks, let's get her started, shall we? To start it is sometimes, it's not hard, folks, but technically the real airplane, depending on conditions, what have you, could do 2 engine starts on both. We are going to only do 1. Well, till we get to the last 2. You'll see what I mean here. If you can, follow along. Basically, start valve on.
Ready for engine start.
Okay. Today we're going to use, we got to pull the switches down, so make sure you get that down arrow. To ground start, we're going to use what's called System 2, starting number 3 first.
Starting engine 3. Starting engine 3.
Starter valve open.
Hold it till you hear starter valve open. Then what I'll do, switch into where I can kind of watch my engines, because your N2 is right here. Number 3's right here. And then when they say 20%, just move your fuel lever to idle.
20% and 2.
Fuel on. Light up.
And then all you got to do is turn. Watch your engine. You'll hear starter valve off, stabilized. Again, this is where I said if you don't hear stabilized,
Engine stabilized.
that's what you're, if you don't hear that, folks, you're in the wrong ACF in X-Plane 12. Okay. It's not a problem for X-Plane 11. Reason being, this isn't going to be in it, X-Plane 12 aircraft. Just the X-Plane 11 stuff. Over here in 12, we actually get both ACFs. So you got to make sure you start it right, or Make sure you're only displaying current aircraft, not all of them. Okay, and that means we're good now to reach up here. I don't like trying to get this one unless I do it this way, folks. It's just...
Starting engine 4.
Startervalve open.
It's just very problematic for me. Now, the other two are a piece of cake. Or other three, actually, I could. Okay, you'll see it spooling here and here. Barely. I mean, not a lot of numbers moving yet. But he'll tell you 20%.
20% and 2.
Fuel on. Light up.
And then again, starter valve off. Engine stabilized.
Starter off. Engine stabilized.
Okay, here we go for a 2-engine start. System 2.
Starting engine 1.
Startervalve open.
Starting engine 2.
Startervalve open.
That APU produces enough air to turn them both. Like I said, it can do 3 and 4. But for the sake here, it doesn't take long.
Twenty percent and 2.
Fuel on. Light up.
20% and 2.
Fuel on. Light up.
Starter off.
Okay, that's engine 1.
Starter off.
Engine 2. Now we'll get engine 1 stable.
Engine stabilized.
Okay, then the next one's number 2.
Engine stabilized.
All right, folks, so there you go. All 4 are running. We'll come back over there in a second. Now, you can go through each of your engines here, and we'll use that one to check your frequencies and your voltage. Good. 2 is good. Engine 3 is good. Engine 4 is good. And then all we do is connect them. You will not get this, folks, if you've got the wrong ACF. Okay, just letting you know. Turn the bleed off now. APU can go off now. It'll take a few minutes to spool down, and then we can start bringing the air back in. Okay, now let's take a look at our checklist. It needs us to do flight recorder, start switches, make sure they're off. Beacon light was already on, brake pressure, start levers, engine ice. The engineer's panel, we're already set electric. We've got our valves open, door warning lights out, and a hydraulic panel set and the recorder set. So let's get over there. Get the ADPs to auto. How are fuel tanks looking? Once we get airborne, folks, we'll dump in our reserve tanks. We'll worry about that. Hang on just a second. Takeoff, wait. Okay. And then you can see the fuel that's been used already. Okay. I think we're ready to do the after start. And you can do that, by the way, from the flight engineer. We'll do the next one.
After start checklist.
Flight recorder.
On.
Start switches.
Off.
Beacon lights.
On.
Brake pressure.
Check.
Start levers.
Idle detent.
Engine and the ice.
Off.
Electrical panel. Wait.
Oh, I forgot a switch. Okay, you got to do all 4 gens, okay? Then you got to come up here. I don't know what this one is called, so hang on. Then you got to do the split system closing.
Check. Pack valves. Open. Dual warning lights. Out. Hydraulic panel. Check. Flight recorder. On. After start checklist completed.
I find that one interesting. That we do it
Flaps
twice.
10.
Next. You can already tell I'm getting ready for the next one. Okay, they're set. Stabilizer trim is not yet. All right. So what it said is 3.1. So we got it there, but we got to be in the green band. How do we make it get into green? Technology of the 60s, 70s time frame. Move the switch up and boom, it's a green band. I really don't know if that's true or not, folks. Probe heats on, flight controls. There's one. Make sure you do this. And we have a really good gauge right here, folks. Let me do it from here. So what you do is time to go right here. That brings your column back in. And you can watch it move. And you can see the needles, so you can tell what your surfaces are doing. If they don't move, guess what? There's a gust lock in place somewhere. Very bad things to have in place when you try to take off. Also, watching that Mayday show, I've told you all about this a few times. I love watching this show. Watched an accident with a 757. I believe it was one of the first ones with it. So you can say that goes back into the mid-80s, folks. By the way, if you click here, brings the yoke in. Really, it's only needed for landing if you want. You can just deactivate the autopilot there. Otherwise, I keep it out so I can see my HSI better. Remember I told you I could run this from here? I wanted to show you that. I can do everything from here as well. So flight controls, yaw dampers are set, seat packs, APUs off, fuel heat off, totalizer set, engineer panel, aft cargo heat. Aft cargo heat's right here. Go to normal. Leave. That's all we got to do. Here we go.
Taxi checklist, please.
Flaps. Flaps 10.
Flaps 10.
Takeoff data. EPR and airspeed bugs.
Set and cross-check.
Stabilizer trim.
Set in green band.
Probe heat.
On.
Flight controls.
Check.
Yaw dampers.
Check.
Seat belts and shoulder harness.
Check.
APU. Off. Fuel heat. Off. Totalizer and gross weight. Set. Flight engineer and pilot panels. Check. Aft cargo heat. Normal. Seat belts and shoulder harness. Check. Taxi checklist completed.
Parking brake released.
All right, that'll probably be the last time that will work. And I don't know what I got to do to make that work, because with ACAR programs like the one I'm using, and with actually all the airlines I fly, it doesn't lock in place to where it signifies to them we're done, unless I throw the chocks in.
Cabin ready.
All right. Gimpo traffic. Clipper 12, heavy. Taxi 214 left. So, again, highly recommend this, folks. If you like the old iron, if you like, I'll be honest, I'm going to say it, challenges, there's a plane for you. Felis Group has done an outstanding job with this plane. Well, there's a little things here and there that I could quibble with them, and one day I might, just to get clarification on my end. Am I expecting something that's not? And actually, from time to time, a guy, Jost D 777, oddly enough, chimes in and helps me out. Listen to those engines. Let's get the lights on because we're coming into the taxiway. So, but he helps from time to time when I miss things. He did a thank you so much for the last flight. I actually learned something, and we'll show it to you inbound Tokyo. I didn't understand when he told me it the first time. I do now. Okay, turn that down. But again, this is about an hour and a half hop across the Japan Sea into Tokyo. Northern Tokyo, we're way above the city. I was hoping they had a flight for us in the 747 to Hanade, or however you say it. But they don't. So I hope you enjoy the flight, folks. Welcome aboard, and if you're new, I'd love for you to hit that follow button. We are having internet troubles, so daytime here in the St. Louis flying seems to be problematic at best with our internet right now. Hopefully, you know, positive thinking. They're due here tomorrow to look at our internet and figure out maybe what's wrong with it. So maybe tomorrow's flight in Brazil will go off as planned. Hopefully, may or may not. Um, I'm not even, now I'm starting to wonder if that's what's causing all my OBS problems. So, but when I record, just record, seems to go fine. That's why I'm thinking that, folks. So, who knows? But I do want to say welcome in and thank you. And again, if you'd hit that follow button, you'll know when we go live because it'll send you an email with the information on the flight. If you're on YouTube watching this, hey, we'd love for you to watch other videos of ours. Smash that subscribe button, ring that bell, and when we send a new video out, you'll be notified. And we've reached it. And being the one-man band here, we'll do our checks right here at the runway. See if we can get it. It might say it one more time. Nope, it's done. All right, folks, let's run the last checklist. Now, we will be at least one item skipped. You'll figure it out real quick. And I'll kind of show it to you on our taxi to the runway. I should have shown it earlier.
Before takeoff checklist.
I think considerations.
Check.
Cabin alert.
Check.
Transponder.
Damn.
Thought I got that.
Check.
Ignition.
Flight start.
Body gear steering.
Hold on.
Okay, we're gonna skip that or check it right now. That's this switch here. All we gotta do is close the thing. What that does, folks, is the main gears where the wing hits the fuselage, those landing gear, pivot to help us on the ground get around tighter turns, and saves wear and tear on those pretty expensive tires. So, but we'll get that on the runway.
Pack valves. Wait.
We'll get those for takeoff, and then we'll open them in sequence on takeoff.
Pressurization mode selector. Auto. Fuel boost pumps. On. Cross feed valves. Check. Before takeoff checklist completed.
Okay, and then you'll see the next one we have is after takeoff. All right. Gimpo traffic, Clipper 12 departing, 14 left. Break off. Okay, now you can see we're off center. I want you to watch the main gear from here to here. See how they're pivoting? That's what that allows, and it allows us to turn a lot tighter. Okay, now when you're taxiing the Queen here, you really, if you're up here in the cockpit, not doing it from the outside, you got to pass up your turn, like so. Getting hit hard on frames. Okay, and let her straighten out a little. Back into back. This is, where's my landing gear? There's one here to tell you if you're not or straight or not, and we are. Okay, so I am going to go ahead, close that off now. I am going to we'll do all 3 packs. And we're ready for takeoff. Lights on. Strobes on. Here we go.
Stabilized. Thrust set.
80 knots. V1. Rotate. Positive rate. Gear up. Flaps 5. Now's the level off. Flaps up.
Hey, hang on. We're trying to keep caught up. We're not doing too bad. Let's get the last notch up. Get those packs on. I was getting confused why it wasn't staying caught up. Okay. You on 87 yet? No. All right, we're going to get this flying by the FMC now. All right, so trying to watch our climb here. Got way fast, way too quick. Okay, let's run the after start checklist. Okay, gear, landing gear, ignition, seatbelt, pack valves open, fuel heat. Okay, and all we got to do there is just turn them to auto and then run it.
After takeoff checklist.
Gear lever.
Damn.
Oh, I didn't put it in off.
Off.
Landing and logo lights.
Hold on.
I didn't turn the logo off.
Off.
Ignition.
Check.
Seatbelts and no smoking sign. Check. Pack valves. Open. Fuel heat. Auto. After takeoff checklist completed.
All right, folks, so there you have it. like I said, sometimes this plane, things happen depending on departure, really quickly. And next up is descent. Go back here. And this way you get an idea where we are. All right, so hope you enjoyed, folks. And like I said, I do recommend this plane. It is such fun to fly. Now, one thing here. The reason this isn't resetting is it's still in radio. Put it in INS and it'll work. What I'll do is DME and RMI here. I'll check along the way to make sure we're on course. Okay. And when I do that with SkyVector, looking for like, well, right now up ahead of us is 110.2 Wuzhou, and I can use that to watch the needles going across. All right, so we'll put that on 110.2 right here. You'll see what I mean, how that works. The solid line is the one we're watching, okay? And you'll watch the arrow pointing to where we are along the track as we pass up our fixes. And that's one way. Other way you could do it is find one further out. But we're also headed to, I don't know the name of that. I can't read it. Gangnuyung, RJNN Airport. Well, there's a VOR there that we're tracking. 1560. So if you just come over here, bump it up. We're course 82. And now, all of a sudden, things are trackable, sorta trackable. Okay, keyword here, so, wow, we're going way too high. Okay, altitude select, we're still good. But anyway, you see what I'm doing here, folks. We're now from that VOR, that is KAE, Kilo Alpha Echo. We're showing 50 miles out. We're 13 miles from that one just south of us that the RMI needle is passing as we go by it. So I know we're on course. And it keeps you busy. Now, here's the downside. Feet wet, meaning when you get out over the ocean, which, by the way, that's what that is there, you don't have VORs and all to track. So you got to work other ways to get it. But there you go, folks. We're on our way, climbing up to 25,000. Let's make sure everything's good for the passengers. It appears so. APU's off. Okay, everything looks good. Pressurization's coming up. Now, when we start our descent, this is where he got me. And I did not, he kept telling me, well, why aren't you setting your cabin altitude? You're really making it hard on me in the back here. Like I can only dial down to 20,000 feet. Right here is your cabin altitude. So when you get lower, this changes and you can bring that down. I did not know that. We'll show it as we begin our descent here in about, without seeing the numbers, folks, I'm going to say about an hour. Actually less than, but not bad of a guess. So again, hope you enjoyed that takeoff. One-man show, folks. A one-man band here. And we'll get all the way across the Sea of Japan here into Japan before we get close to our top of descent. Let you all see the Korean landscape in X-Plane 12. Really not a lot to it. Just to our right over here, the DMZ. And the North Koreans. All right, folks, we're cruising up through 30,000. It's our Mach getting close. So what I will do is get our EPR. Currently, we're in EPR, so the engine is keeping us at whatever I turned it to get us to climb. Soon I'm going to switch it into Mach over here. And actually, get it closer to our 297 climb here. All you got to do is just kind of ease back on the wheel a little bit. Okay, now we'll let it be controlled by Mach. We're at a 0.83. We're going to go up to 0.85 in cruise. So for now, we're just gaining a little bit of speed, letting that vertical speed be guided by the speed of the aircraft. But again, I hope you enjoy the ride. About an hour and 10 minutes out of Narita. And no, folks, I normally do not stream at night. Although, with the way the internet's going, I might. But really, I like to try to spend time with the CEO, my wife. And, now tonight I just felt like I needed to get on to fly this. Now, I've been doing that way too much here lately, so tomorrow I will not be on if we do not get that stream in on time. Like I said, the technicians are due out at the house to look at the internet to see what in the world has gone wrong. Speculation only on our part. They're laying in a high-speed fiber optic line for DSL. And, well, I have a feeling they messed with the cable line, and that's where the trouble's coming in. How they did it, that I don't know. Again, that's all speculative on my part. Okay, I probably am way wrong. But just odd that this all started when they started digging. So, if things go off, if we're able to, we'll do our Brazilian flight. So that'll be fun tomorrow. Believe me, we're headed to Viru in not actually. Well, we're leaving Brazil for there. That's actually Bolivia. That's what's scheduled, and we'll hope to be able to get that in for you tomorrow. The reason there wasn't one today, for those tuning in right now, go, well, why weren't you on this afternoon? You're doing fine. Between, this is St. Louis time, folks, roughly 2 o'clock in the afternoon, maybe earlier, to just after 3-ish, which normally this hits at 3 to 4, but between 2 and 4, we'll say, we had the internet go up and or go down and up 11 times. For me, that's a big headache, but ultimately, where the real problem comes in with this, my wife works from home for a university, and she's basically got to have that internet connection. She's in meetings, and some of these are pretty important meetings about upcoming things for students and all of that, and her not being able to stay on a meeting is just completely unacceptable, especially since we're paying for a lot of money to have the internet the way it is, for them to not be able to be on their end of the deal. So, more critical to her than to me on the stream. So, we're able to enjoy because of that. I'm going to start accelerating this up. Oh.
Thousand level off.
So there's the grand scheme of things. So if everything goes off when we're able to come up tomorrow, we will. I believe it's about the same length as this flight, so that's a plus in our side. All right, so we are in the climb acceleration phase, getting up to 0.85. And I'm going to go ahead and put us in cruise power. Okay, that's perfect for being off. That'll help accelerate us. More so when we level off. Okay, you can see the speeds are now coming up. That on altitude hold. And then I'm going to put this on Mach, which is the middle one, as soon as we get to 0.85. You know, sometimes I think the Queen here loves to tease us. Watch that speed, it'll get right where you want, then stop. And then start again. Boom. Okay, we are now in Mach auto throttle control. So it's going by what's in the gauge here. This circle should be at or right at about 0.85. So when it's dead center, folks, we're dead on. At 39,000 on track, we are on our way with about 55 minutes to go, folks. So glad to have you aboard. Hope you enjoy this run down to or over to Narita. And love to chat with you. Why our Discord is not working. Let me try something else. That worked. Let me try something. Maybe this is why it's not working. It's kind of silly if it is, but you never know with computers these days, folks. I don't get it. It worked that time, and I fired up Stream Elements. I guess that's why. All right, folks, join us in Discord. Love to meet and greet you here during the stream and afterwards. For now, I'm going to keep the voice off, but for now, we're just going to kind of cruise along and hope you all enjoy the ride. I'm going to put some music on, hopefully on the low side, and see what kind of trouble we get into. We are still, amazingly, on VATSIM. We've had some messages saying low on frame rates. Well, we're actually doing pretty good right now. Might be because we're over the ocean. But we'll find out. But yeah. Hope you all had a great work week so far. It's, I believe, are we on Wednesday already? I'll be doggone. Hump day, folks, is just about over. Got over the hump and headed for the weekend. So, enjoy the rest of your day and the beginning of Friday Eve for some of you. All right, folks. Looks like we got about 45 minutes to go, so why don't we brief in the arrival here? We're going to use Sim Toolkit. All right. We're on what's called the live map, so you get an idea of both weather. Most of this is actually on this one here called Flight Summary, but it just a little cleaner, a little less information on the left side. However, down here at the bottom is what we're going for, nav graph. Okay. You can see where we are on the map. Obviously, we're headed over to here, RJAA. Now, I've already pre-done these, so they're already set and ready to go. So you can see we've come out of Korean airspace. We're in Japanese airspace. We are going to be flying what right now looks like a south, I guess they would call that a north approach. Coming in on the 3-4s. Okay, we're going to be using 3-4 left, the longer of the two runways. Real quick to familiarize you with the airport, give it a second. Okay, there's 3-4 left. Here's 3-4 right. This is more the domestic side. This is your international side. I'll be totally honest, I have no idea where back in the day Clippers would have parked. If they would have been here, on these piers, I don't know. So we're going to be coming in 3-4 left. Now, if things hold and we come in on the south arrivals, where we'll be coming in over Gina here at 4,000, we start up here at Swamp, so we kind of work our way around the airport to here, come down and hit this huge arc to, which is the 21-mile DME off of Narita. At or above 11,000, halfway point at or above 9,000, ending up 4,000 at Gina, inbound on the ILS for runway 3-4 left. An interesting I guess it's a phenomena you call it, but a procedure that used to be in place and may still be to this day, that the aircraft would carry gear down, coast in, actually before coast in, from like Gina, because they had ice come off a plane once and hit somewhere right near. They now make them drop, so they'll, anything on the plane should come off there. I could do stuff here to say differ, but hey. So that's our arrival for that. Now, in flight planning here for this, folks. So what runway, what approach are we going to take? Well, you do that right here. It helps you out. 3-4 left. VOR, ILS. We don't have any choices for the 3-4 left ILS unless we come down here, and we don't have those, so we'll go with final. The neat thing is, it puts it in down here, shows you everything. So, kind of weird how it's got us overshooting. Hopefully we turn in before then. Okay? But we'll have Gina, Cosmo, and right on in. Or, let's just take a look at it. And a couple of pieces here. So across the top, we have our frequencies. Now this D8 do not mistake that for the well, it is the same as that in the States, that you can get it digitally, meaning on a tablet, phone, computer, whatever. including the airplane on 128.25 when in range. I just don't know the website to go to get it. So that's the thing. The one that I have here is U.S. territories and the states. All right, so where we're more concerned is right here. Localizer 111.9, final approach of 337, Cosmo. Remember we said that early on in this. 4,000 feet is where we meet the glide slope. 3,800 feet above the ground. Decision, altitude, and heights. Okay. The bold is actually mean sea level, otherwise MSL. Okay, I call it though above sea level. You'll get this in a second. Now, in the parentheses, that is your above ground reading, so the actual ground. Now here you're close to the coast and all of that, so it's a lot different. But you get to places like Viru Viru or El Alto in the South America, folks, MSL is, well, 1,200 feet for Viru Viru, 13,000 feet for El Alto. That's what your altimeter will read when you come in there, when you touch down. The parentheses will still be the same, above the ground. It's taking the ground up. So, still 200 feet. So, just some, getting that kind of squared away, because it gets a little confusing sometimes, I think. Matter of fact, a few months ago, we had a little discussion on here about it. But anyway, missed approach is next. Requirements transition is 14,000 feet. What we need, and then in things we could encounter like PAPIs and the glide slope on your gauge may not match. Once you go visual, you go off your visual cues, both the PAPIs and your aiming bars if you can see them. Okay. Now, part 2 and 3, we'll kind of do there we go. Okay, so we're going to be coming in and turning in for Gina right here. Okay. And then tracking in. Pretty simple. Narita's 17.9. NRE. Again, 11.9. IYQ. 337's our localizer. There's our missed approach to Gummo, to 25 DME, and then Binks. Okay, altitudes. Gina is a mandatory 4,000 foot, so we have to descend to be at Gina by 4,000 feet. I'd like to be right around no faster than 210 at that point. Really wouldn't mind being right around 180 and bring it in. Cosmo, 3 to 4 miles ahead of us, also 4,000 feet, and we'll be getting on the glide slope. From Cosmo to the missed approach point, folks, I think we're going to come in right around 140. So as long as, if the glide slope isn't reading, we keep it at about 740, 750, we should be right on that 3-degree glide path. Okay, the next area over here, this one's the one I like. Tells you where to look for the PAPIs. Most airports, I have run into one where they put the PAPIs signal right in here. Pretty sure it's not in the approach field, guys. It's off to the left. ALSIF 1, meaning we've got a pretty hefty approach lighting system if we get into the soup. And then our missed approach again. Finally, our minimums. What we have to have come in under this approach. And I'm shocked we don't have a category 2 or 3 on this one. really shocked, because usually when you select this, you get that, and I'm really shocked they don't have it. So 200 AGL, folks. So if that METAR is below 200 feet, you're going to have to go to your alternate or hold till it is. RVR has to be 550 on the meters. Less than that, same thing. And we learned this going out off of Sydney out into the Pacific, the island. I think it's like North Isle or something like that. You got to make sure that at your arrival time, the airport you're going to has to be above minimums. If not, it's a weather. We found out why. We hit a hill. Told you, folks, you get the good, the bad, the ugly here. So all aircraft, though, 550 and 200 feet. So there you go with the charts. Once we're on the ground, we'll vacate somewhere between A5 and A3 is my hopes. Parking in here. Best I can figure for where we would have gone in 1984. I don't know. So, all right. That's a good arrival brief. Let's head out, find where the airplane is. Coming over Dish, headed for SAMON. The last thing we need to go over, folks, what are our performance numbers? Okay, so let's click the top home, go back to performance calculation, click landing perf. Load sheet, and now we start filling in what we know for Narita. Okay, we're coming into a 13,100 foot runway. Elevation here is 135. So we'll set it to 100 on a heading of 337 or 340. Dry. Okay, now the rest of this we get from SkyVector, and the hard part's going to be this conversion we have to do. And it's not being nice. Actually, let me get that right now. All right, so currently all right, so we're looking at 302. All right, temperature 20, not too bad. And current wind 170 at 4. You gotta love it sometimes. Yeah, currently 170 at 4. Oh boy. really should be. We're going to go ahead and come in from the south. Go ahead and do it. It's only a 4-knot tailwind. I think the aircraft can handle it. So 704. Significant sloping or not? Nope. Okay. All right, so coming in, flaps 30, folks. We're clean up until 231. Then we start deploying flaps per speed bugs, which we just set. All right, 6,000 feet down to runways medium, 8,000 will put us minimum, and we'll set for medium. If things change any more, we may have to ultimately change up even. Interesting. We're going to go in as briefed. We're going to come in 3-4 left. All right. So we're not going to make any changes. Okay, it's programmed in, executed, and let's see, we are looking at a 245 miles top of descent. All right, folks. All we did is click departure, arrival, DEP, ARR, click our arrival here, scroll down for star, gives you the runways available, took it, and we're on our way. All right, I'm just going to kind of sit here, folks, monitor the chat, and hope you all have a great night. So let me know. And any questions or comments, just realize this is an aircraft I highly recommend to you. So hope you enjoy, and we'll be into Narita here in about 20 minutes or so. about 173 miles to top of descent. And then we get things rolling here. Let's go ahead and start draining in our reserves. Now the goal here, folks, when you're a lot heavier than what we were for takeoff, say we're transatlantic, you're gonna be running with your whole setup here will be a little different than we were. One, you'll have these cross feeds on. Once you're into your climb, your cruise climb, then you'll turn your outer boost pumps on. The reason those two inner ones are on keeps all the fuel in that big pipe that goes between both wings and the center and all. Of course, center tank goes first if it's full, then you configure that way. But you want to draw your wing tanks down 2 and 3 to a point where they'll still be heavier with fuel than your wingtips plus these reserves. So in this case, we're going to be real close. Matter of fact, I think that's why. Oh, it's still coming down. So they're going to be really close to that 12,000. But again, think about it. You got that long wing. That's a lot of weight out there. So the lighter it is, the better. And it's getting filled, folks. All the tanks are pumping to there. So oh, excuse me. Oh man. It seems complicated, folks, but when you look at it, you just want to keep the outer lighter than what's closest to the fuselage. So you get the feel that, that's just the way you want it. You don't want them empty, but you also don't want them heavier. Because when you land, you get that flex. Let's see what we got over Japan here. Are we just past one? Okay, so let's put 8. right, folks, we are very close. Starting to get close enough where we're ready to start into our descent checks, see how the fuel's doing. Okay, we're just about drained out. I still think a neat stream, although rough on the body. Oh yeah, don't get me wrong, cross the pond is rough. Well, we're gonna cross the Pacific pond. Maybe. I gotta find out times and all of that and work this out. So that's gonna be close to an 11-hour haul, and I don't know how streaming will work with that, if you could do that long. So, but we're sitting in San Francisco with a Pan Am virtual airline that I fly for. Also, this is with Piedmont. They're a historical route. They fly for, they have Ansett, Northwest, some Pan Am Clipper flights, Cal Air, I think it's called, Western. I flew a lot of those. I can't remember the name of that though. A couple of others. There's some in Europe too, and I can't think of their names. On top of Piedmont, which I used to live in Dayton, Ohio, and watch them go in and out of the hub they had there. Now, this is not the Piedmont, folks, you think of today with the turboprops. This is actually an airline that actually operated prior, and some of you may not even know what I'm talking about, U.S. Airways. Hopefully you do. Because Piedmont, Allegheny, PSA, one other, I can't think of it, basically conglomerated into an airline, and it became U.S. Airways. Railroaders, you'll kind of know what I'm talking about. A whole bunch of East Coast rail that came in. I don't know if it was the government that did it or what, bringing us Conrail. And then when Conrail collapsed, CSX Northwest. Oh, my apology there, folks. Had a coughing spat. My apology. Didn't want to cough in your ear, so, But anyway, when Conrail disintegrated, CSX got some of it, which was a homogenization of a lot of rail, and so did Norfolk and Southern. Oh, my goodness. Anyway, so that's how U.S. Airways was in the air world, not the rail. So, and then they kind of got into hard times. America West would then buy them out, keeping the name, and then eventually they would buy American. And I don't mean they went out and bought stuff from America. They actually bought American Airlines, who also was struggling. So, anyway, enough history for one day. Let's see down here. We are 75 miles, top of drop. All right, so we've got pretty much everything programmed up here. The only thing we need to do is make sure we get this radio with the current weather we just got. Should be fine. We shouldn't need both channels. By that I mean we should not need to go into an auto land situation. Shouldn't is the key word. We'll see when we turn final. That broken, really kind of, not sure what that means, those slashes. Watch it be, we're below minimums. It's always possible. So, all right. I'll tell you, the one thing X-Plane 12 has been improving on immensely, and that is the clouds. Oh boy, if they had some iterations of them, but they are really getting them pretty decent out there, folks. Next, for those X-Planers out there curious, was an article here not long ago on what they're working on for X-Plane 12.06, while enhancing other parts of it, of course. They're looking to improve the clouds even more so to maybe, we'll see, get rid of the pyramid cloud effect out here. I haven't seen it in a while. So I'm really looking forward to that. The other, they're going to begin to introduce cirrus clouds. So getting closer and closer to, for a out-of-the-box sim, not a bad gig, especially when you look at the price tag. It's just amazing, folks. From what I saw it 15 years ago, it was like X-Plane 6, I think it was. Oh, where it has come, folks. They have come into their own, and congratulations, Austin. Great job with it. Sorry I didn't stick it out with 6. I should have. But another place and time for that conversation about Microsoft. So right now, we're just enjoying the ride into Narita. But if you're new to the channel, folks, new to Flying with Mike, hey, first thing I'd love you to do is hit that follow button. That way, one, I know you like the material, but two, if you want to fly along with us in the future, easiest way to know when hit that follow button. You get an email when we go live. Hey, those of you watching us from the videos we create off of these streams, if you want to see us live, drop down into the more information area and look for Twitch, our Twitch link. Click on it. When that comes up, look for the About section, find the flight schedule, and plan to be ready for us to come live, and you can be a part of the live presentation that you're seeing here. Otherwise, you just get it taped. So replay, rerun, however you want to say it. That's what you're watching. It happened a few days ago, possibly a couple of weeks ago. So try my best not to date it, but things do happen. But and if you click subscribe and ring the bell, you'll be notified when new videos are released. So otherwise, folks, love for you to chat in the chat room. Love to talk to you, learn who we have. Hey, get to know you. You're joining a great family here at Flying with Mike. And I'm right now just going through internet issues, so some of the times I put out there could change drastically in the next week or two as people finally pull their head out of there and realize, hey, we got a problem in town, and they need to get on and ahead of it, or they're going to watch like they did about 15 years ago. Entire neighborhood went away from them. Yeah, they eventually came back, but still. May not hurt their bottom line, but I'm sure it crinkled it a little. Alright, let's see. We should be about 50 miles out. Let's say top of drop is upon us. Okay, we're going to adjust that here in a second. Let me get us into a better descent. One thing I really like on this aircraft versus the FlyJ Sim, I think it was 727, is this vertical speed dial. It look at that, it tells you 2,000 feet a minute, up or down. That's the only thing you really can't tell, but watch the needle, it helps. So, alright folks, we are in the descent phase. I am going to see where we are. Speed 290. And kind of watch as the needle gets close to there. We'll switch into IAS. Not over here, because what that's going to just do is control the pitch. I'm going to put it into where the speed itself is controlled. Going to be a couple thousand feet, but still, I hope you enjoy Narita. This will be, I think, my first time plane 12 into Narita. Not 100% sure. I can't remember. I know in X-Plane 11 we were here a couple times. Can't remember if we've done X-Plane 12 here. I haven't been to Kansai. Huh. All right, let's do that. What I'll do is we'll just pull it down from here. Go into IAS, and now it should hold 290-ish. And I am here. Let's get some anti-ice on as we get ready to penetrate these clouds. And I will be right back. All right, folks, I'm back with you. All right, we are in our descent. Okay, so how are we doing? Okay, so per the chart, folks, we just have to be above 11,000 feet by Dante, above 9,000 CIMAC, but we have to be 4,000 feet at Gina. Not above, not below. So what I'll do, let's adjust this till I'm pretty certain we're not going to get below 11,000. Likewise, we'll slow up to 250, drop down to 9,000, dropping down, like I said, about 210 is the fastest I want to be at Gina. So, and now let's see, found, have any VORs, go with 117.7. Okay. All right. Looks like we're kind of getting in between a layer here. All right. Keep our weight going down a little. Yeah, I'm getting a little, still got 12 miles. We'll see what we can pull off. A little steeper. Gonna get up here and turn these lights. Okay, seatbelts on.
The fasten seatbelt sign. As you may have noticed, we are experiencing some turbulence. Please return to your seat and fasten your seatbelt. Thank you.
All right, and 14,000 feet, we set our altimeter. $30.21. All right. All right, we are over, I believe, Dante. We're making the turn. And we're getting on the arc, 17.9 now. Okay, first one I want is 95. hope you're enjoying the run here, folks, as we head for Narita. Get outside, see a little bit of this. Well, not much of the countryside available to us yet. As we work the 21-mile DME arc. Okay, the aircraft works it, not me. Okay, 095. Okay, when we cross it here, that, folks, means we have crossed CIMAC. Then I'll set for 150, and then we'll make the turn to swing in for the ILS. All right, we are 11.5. I'm going to go ahead. Oh boy. Yeah, that went just about every which way but right. Okay. Start our slowdown. Oh, we're below 14,000, so we need to get 1023. Wait a minute.
10,000. 1,000 to level off.
1023 in here. Okay, we're set for 200. Okay, we're at 240. Coming around CIMAC. See any other speed restrictions than those given by me or control? So we are good to go. 2 miles from CIMAC, according to the FMC. Okay, set 4,000.
Approach checklist, please.
Seatbelts and shoulder harness.
Check.
Seatbelts and no smoking signs.
On.
Anti-ice.
On.
Exterior lights.
Check.
Outer brakes.
Medium.
Radio INS switches.
Hold on.
Flight director computer selectors.
Check.
Brake pressure.
Check.
Spoilers.
Hold on.
Altimeters.
1, 0, 2, 3. Set and cross-check.
Landing data, EPR and airspeed bugs.
Set and cross-check.
Seatbelts and shoulder harness. Check. Fuel panel. Check. Fuel heat. Off.
1000 level off.
EPR computer. Let's see. Go around. Cabin altitude. Check. Circuit breakers. Check. Approach checklist completed.
Okay, folks, sorry for the quietness. Oh, they have some preset. All right. Again, we're waiting for the needle. Okay. Okay, there's the localizer. I'm going to go ahead and slow to
Localizer
180. Flaps 1.
Flaps 1.
Flaps 5.
Flaps 5.
Okay, we are inbound, folks. Narita traffic, Clipper 12, Cosmo, inbound 34 left ILS.
Flaps 10.
Okay, let's bring this back. Again, all I want it for is to just be able to click there. .131, so 1B's good. Okay. Okay, we're on glide slope. Slow on to 160. All right, I think we'll be fine.
Gear down. Flaps 20. Gears down, green light. Flaps 25. Flaps 30. Landing checklist.
Gear.
Down and check.
Down and check. Flaps.
Flaps 30.
Flaps 30. Ignition.
Flight start.
Anti-skid.
Check.
Altimeters. 1, 0, 2, 3. Set and cross-check. Landing checklist completed.
Base 1700. That isn't what that METAR said. Do think we have the runway, but we got some cloudiness in front. We're going to be bringing this down, folks. Okay, there's the runway. Plane's mine. Narita traffic, Clipper 3, or Clipper 12, heavy, 3 mile final, 34 left. And as a PIREP out of the clouds, 1700 feet.
Sync rate. Sync rate. Sync rate. Sync rate. Approaching
Landing.
Minimums. Sync rate. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10. Check reverse. out, off, reverse.
Welcome to Narita, folks.
60 knots. Auto brake off.
Narita traffic, Clipper 12. Off 3-4 left to parking.
Flaps up.
The bad thing about getting off at that point, folks, we're close to where we're going.
Cockpit to ground. Put the chocks on. After landing checklist.
Brake pressure.
Check.
Flaps are on. Body gear steering.
Hold on. Arm.
Outer brakes.
Off.
Ignition.
Hold on. Off.
Engine and wing anti-ice.
Off.
Radar and transponder.
Damn. Stand by.
Flaps.
Up.
Spoilers.
Down.
Stabilizer trim.
Hold on. 7 units.
Outflow valves. Open. Pressurization mode selector. Manual. Aft cargo heat. Wait. Off. APU. Check. Checklist completed.
Cabin crew, disarm slides. All right, secure cockpit checklist.
Brakes.
Hmm.
Beacon lights.
Off.
INS.
Align.
Probe and window heat.
Off.
Back valves. Check. Let's see. Fuel boost pumps. Off. Reserve tank valves. Closed. Hydraulic panel. Check. Oxygen. Check. Flight recorder. Off.
Emergency lights.
Off.
Radar.
Off.
INS. This. Off. Radio switches. Let's see.
Check was completed.
All right, folks. Sorry for the quietness there as we get her finished up. Oh, hang on. Let's, I forgot one thing we got to be doing. All right. We'll do that and we'll leave it for now. We'll close everything up here in a minute. Let me do some business here with Piedmont. Now let's see. I've got to re-log in with them. I'm certain of that. All right, and we'll see how this thing, I at least want to see the landing rate. $117 feet a minute they got us at. We're awaiting a review. Why? My livery. I've flown this one, I thought. Oh well. Sure, I didn't accidentally select Northwest. No, I did not. Okay. All right, so an hour and 46 minutes. We got good run here, folks. All right, so that takes care of that. We'll close these guys out. All right. Okay, just getting some things tidied up here. We'll go ahead and disconnect from VATSIM since we love to forget. And in the meantime, let's pull up Sim Toolkit and finish the flight. $251 there. All right. I am not going to be upset. That is two things. A lot of good things happened on this flight. One, the internet didn't drop. Hey, there's the biggie. Oh, I had to think, where the heck are we? Okay. So there, here's the numbers for the landing, folks. The good things, though, great landing, great flight, online, didn't miss a beat, other than we had some error messages popping because of frame rates. But overall, hallelujah, we got a flight in on stream. Not to say tomorrow afternoon we'll go through the same we went through today and a few days in the past. All right, so we went 2,400 feet down the runway, a 13,000 foot runway, so we have plenty of room at the end. 3 feet off the line. That is good. Landed at 139. I believe VREF was 131. 251. I don't know if anyone chimed in more than mine. Closer. Nope. Flying with Mike, 280. And really, overall, great stuff here, folks. Great stuff. All right, and what I'm going to do is get rid of Sim Toolkit now. The other thing I'm liking is I haven't had any problems with OBS. So that's another plus right there. All right, let me take a look at the board over here, make sure nothing's open. It's good. Wait a minute, did I just open things up or did I just close them? Nope, I don't know. Let's find out. Oh, they're closed. Okay, good. We are going to try to do a replay.
Cockpit to ground. Remove the chocks.
Chocks removed.
Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. All right, we get some appropriate music up here. And let's learn. I saw nothing but grease on that landing, folks. Why it put us over there? Alright, here we go. Let's see how it looked from this angle, folks. Wow. What a landing. I will say I'm quite happy with that, folks. Approach, not so much, but once we got her into that groove, very happy. Let's do one more and see how it looked from the tower, and we'll call it a night, folks. And maybe not. Well, folks, like I said in the beginning, at the end here, welcome into Narita. It's one of my favorite airports to fly into. Very easy. Kansai is another one. Gimpo, I think I could add to that list. But folks, thank you for being a part of Flying with Mike. We can't do this without you also, folks. If you're new to the stream, smash that follow button. We'd love to have you on future flights. You'll get an email letting you know when we're flying, when we go live, and what the particulars are. So, but for now, folks, we're gonna put it back on the jet stand here and throw in some chocks and really hope you all have a great rest of your Tuesday or Wednesday hump day, and that your Friday Eve day is spectacularly and blessed. Hope you all have a great night. God bless. We'll see you, fingers crossed, tomorrow, South America. God bless.